Hello again and greetings from Sunnyhill. Last night's presidential debate may well represent the low point of American democracy to date. Observing last night's proceedings, one might reasonably conclude that the great American experiment has failed, democracy has failed, the republic has failed. Although presidential debates in recent decades have mostly functioned as opportunities for candidates to spout off talking points and sound bites, last night's performance was even worse. It was not an exchange of ideas. It was not a presentation of opposing ideals. It was not even a shouting match. It was because of Mr. Trump's bullying, belligerence, incoherence, and reasonless ignorance, an absolute meltdown. Once again, the president has demonstrated that he lacks any kind of moral center or even the ability to reason in a moral or ethical way or pretend to be moral or ethical. But there are other ways of being in the world, other ways of approaching the challenges of our times, other ways of dealing with the violence and volatility of this particular era. And we've seen the other better ways demonstrated in emerging liberation movements recently. If the central message of Trumpism is an authoritarian, me-first outlook on life, then the central message of these emerging liberation movements is an all rise together approach. Some will argue that this supportive, caring, compassionate point of view is the equivalent of rainbows and unicorns in a world of hard ideas and harsh reality. But don't believe them. This idea of the common good is firmly embedded in our U.S. Declaration of Independence and U.S. Constitution, and it's not just some pie-in-the-sky, dreamy dream. It is something to fight for. It's something people have died for. It's something that each of us has responsibility to preserve and protect. Tens of thousands of lives have been lost and millions of others brought to the brink of ruin because of the incompetence and immorality of Mr. Trump and others who would emulate him. Our nation has become a political dumpster fire because of a general disregard for human rights. These basic rights have been trampled as unfettered markets and unhinged capitalism have become the gods of our time. Our fifth Unitarian Universalist principle speaks of the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process. And as I've said before, now is the time to exercise that right and to do everything we can to restore some semblance of democracy and a commitment to the common good in our country. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to vote. Now is the time to do everything within our power to restore some moral center to our nation and our world. I hope and pray that together our work will generate the winds of change that will bring into being a better world for all. May it be so.